15 years ago, the Philippines made a bold promise. Faced with an environmental crisis, the government launched one of the world's biggest regreening projects.
Sa paglulunsad natin sa National Greening Program, nagpupunla tayo ng mga butil ng pag-asa para sa kalikasan.
The idea was simple: pay locals to restore forests and cultivate barren land by planting and tending millions of trees. The ambition was unprecedented.
Climate change mitigation and adaptation, poverty reduction, biodiversity conservation.
But a joint investigation by 101 East and Lighthouse Reports reveals how the program has failed to meet most targets.
The thing about satellite images is that they don't lie.
Rather than being protected, some forests are being destroyed.
Palala ng palala, paliit ang forest cover ng Palawan.
And now, some indigenous communities fear losing the very land their livelihoods depend on.
Yun ang hinanap namin. Bakit na makaklaim yung DNR sa aming ancestral domain?
In the lush western Philippines province of Palawan, we're joining a special mission. So where are we going?
Papunta ho tayo doon sa area kung nasaan yung NGP area. Nire-report ng community na patuloy ang mga illegal na gawain.
Eduardo Corona's job is to protect these forests, known for their rich biodiversity. He leads a team that hunts down illegal loggers. They call themselves para-enforcers.
Talaga medyo delikado. Sobrang delikado kasi may mga kasamaan na kaming na-disgrasya dito.
The Philippines is the deadliest country for environmental defenders in Asia and one of the most dangerous globally. Standing in the way of lucrative logging can be enough to get you killed.
I-secure muna natin yung perimeter. Tapos body-body system. Sino bang magkakabody? So pag-approach diretso doon sa kung anong mayroon silang dala. Ilayo yung mga bag, paupuin sa tabi. Mababang tono at mapagkaibigang pakikipag-usap. O diplomasya ang gagawin natin. Sige, bago tayo magtuloy siguro magdasal muna board tayo.
Paggabay sa aming ginagawa sa araw na ito, Panginoon. Ingatan niyo nawa kami.
Eduardo's team is made up of volunteers, tricycle drivers, carpenters, mechanics, who leave their day jobs to patrol these forests. They risk their lives to track down illegal loggers and conduct citizens' arrests. They know the signs to look out for.
Ano po to, sir?
Ito'y daanan ng motor. Ito'y bakas na tingin natin o abal-abal na pwedeng pagkargahan ng mga uling o good lumber palabas.
Eduardo and his team are at the sharp end of the government's National Greening Program, or NGP. Launched in 2011, the goal was to plant 1.5 billion trees across 1.5 million hectares of degraded land. A world-leading example of how to provide sustainable income for local communities, improve food security, and the environment. But instead, Eduardo says it's led to thriving rainforests being destroyed.
So, what do we know about this NGP site?
Ang NGP area po na ito, dati na natin itong naulihan ng chainsaw na illegal, na wala siyang permit. At ang nakita na, ang naabutan natin sa akong nagtitistis is mismong caretaker. At sinabi niya yung sa atin, kasi hindi natin nahihirapan tayong umintindi. Kasi marami namang area na pwedeng pagtamnan ng mga puno. Gumagastos ang gobyerno ng pagkalaki-laki para lang ilagay sa isang area na ito na pwede namang ilaan na lang sa enforcement, bantayan na lang, mas mabilis pang lumaki yung mga puno.
Strict rules are meant to protect these sites and stop heritage trees from being logged. Yet, we find new saplings surrounding these large stumps. Eduardo says the program encourages people to cut down trees because the government pays them cash for every seedling they plant.
Old growth trees na po to. Sa tingin namin, sa tingin ko po, pag ganito nakalaki, ang mga 60 years old na po to, 70 years old.
And there's no reason for it to be cut down.
Opo, tingin ko, para pagtanim na ng ganito, kasi nga ang area na to, dito tayo nakahuli ng pumuputol ng puno na gamit ang makina sa loob ng NGP. So, ginawang parang negosyo.
Eduardo says once they sold the wood, the loggers would have earned even more from the government by planting new seeds.
Ito po, titingin natin, mga 1 buwan at kalahati pa lang to.
So it's recent.
So,
Suddenly, they hear a distant, familiar sound.
These guys just heard a sound of a chainsaw, so we're trying to track down the direction where it came from.
After hours of trekking, a grim discovery in yet another protected site.
We've just found a hut in the middle of an NGP site, and it's quite clear that there are people living in it. They've also found tools that relate to logging, and here is the vehicle they use to transport the wood that they chop into town.
The team continues to track the loggers.
Dali, pasat yan lang. Doon. Doon ang tumbahan.
We see them in the distance.
Handarin natin. Handarin natin.
As we walk closer, we find evidence of illegal logging. That's when they spot us. A chase ensues. But the 2 loggers escape.
Kasi ang gusto sana natin mapahinto sila para matanong kung tiga saan, kung bakit nila ginagawa to, o kung mayroon bang nagutos sa kanila para kalbuhin tong lugar na yan. Yung ibang pumuputol sila ng natural na puno, ito ay pine tree ito eh.
The group confiscates the chainsaw the loggers left behind. But the damage has already been done. Across nearly 10 hectares, loggers like these have felled hundreds of trees for charcoal and timber. Eduardo says the greening program is destroying the forest rather than restoring it.
How does it make you feel when you see forests like this?
Yung actual na nangyayari, talagang parang walang may nagbabantay.
In 2015, the Philippines president increased the target nearly 6-fold, promising to plant trees on more than 7 million hectares. But by 2019, the government's own oversight body found forest cover had increased, but almost 90% below target. Many seedlings had not survived.
It's a total failure in the Philippines. 15 years later, with all the reports they've been given since the beginning, there's not much to see.
Tony Lavinia is an environmental lawyer who says it's a waste of vast sums of public money. 101 East reviewed government records and found that it allocated nearly $1 billion to the program from 2011 to 2026.
We communicated our concerns about the NGP because it's a lot of money. With that kind of money, we should have doubled our forests.
Communities were given seedlings for trees and crops, with plans to train them to cultivate their own. In some areas, the program succeeded in growing trees while increasing income and food security. But Lavinia says these cases are the exception, not the rule, because the plan was flawed.
It's wrong from the very beginning. You plant the tree, it doesn't just grow. It has to be managed. It has to be protected. But there's no money for that. The money is all on the planting of seeds. It hasn't really increased forest cover in the Philippines significantly since the time we started the National Greening Program. So you have to ask, where did the money go?
We obtained documents showing the local government was informed about illegal logging taking place in the Palawan greening sites. From 2018 to 2021, Eduardo's organization, Palawan NGO Network, raised the alarm about fresh logging activity. They also questioned why flourishing forests were being cleared for fruit trees, saying it raised suspicions of corruption. The government denied the sites were part of the National Greening Program.
The collusion here is really at the local level, which means the local governments are also complicit in allowing this to happen.
101 East reviewed data compiled by Lighthouse Reports of more than 130,000 greening sites to understand if Palawan was an anomaly. Paul Soriano is a Manila-based journalist working with the investigative outlet.
So we compared the official data that we got from government sources and satellite images. And this allowed us to actually prove or disprove many different claims, because the thing about satellite images is that they don't lie.
Based on the data, what are the major findings?
So the National Greening Program promised reforestation and benefits to the community, but it's not as green as it sounds. In these NGP sites, 1 in every 25 hectares actually experienced deforestation.
We mapped the coordinates of the hut belonging to the illegal loggers we found in Palawan and confirmed it was within a protected greening site. Since the program began, 16% of the site was deforested, 4 times more than the national average. Its highest loss occurred after it became a protected site. Palawan is not alone. Paul points out a site on the island of Mindanao in the country's south, which has also seen massive deforestation.
For this particular site, we're seeing 19.1% of forest loss after establishment.
We traveled to the site in Loreto, a remote mountainous area, to find out why the program is failing so significantly. Ruben Tubal, the local government environmental officer, works closely with farmers who sign up for the greening program.
Where are we going?
We go to one of the beneficiary of the NGP and we proceed to his farm for the site visit.
Farmer Eddie Mahinay was given thousands of seedlings by the government to grow cacao for chocolate and falcata, a tree used to make paper, packaging crates, and light furniture. Falcata is best harvested after 7 years, but for many like Eddie, that's too long to wait. So he took matters into his own hands.
So what's happened here in this area?
Ang nangyari dito, ma'am, kasi yung pinuputol naman yung parakata, ginaharvest naman, uulitin namin ng tinatanim namin ibang-iba na po nga mga klaseng tanim namin.
Ruben, this isn't allowed under the regulations of the program, right?
Yes, actually, this is the National Greening Program does not allow with this activity.
When farmers burn their land for clearing, they can damage indigenous forests.
Oh, alam mo namin, ma'am, kasi yung mga puno, yung mga indigenous, at kasi hindi pinuputol. Kasi yung hindi naman pinuputol, saan man may kakain? Kung wala yung hindi naman ipuputulin, hindi may makatanim yung ibang-ibang tinatanim namin. Hindi kami makapaedukar sa amin mga anak.
Ruben says many farmers he works with across the region slash and burn their land. He's told them not to, but says he understands why they do. The government doesn't always provide the type of seedlings Ruben and the farmers ask for, so they're forced to plant what they're given.
Siguro kung yun, itong mga fruit trees na purity yung ibinigay sa mga farmers kasi mas eager sila kung fruit trees na commodity yung itanim sa kanilang area.
He also says there's a lack of support from the national government, and farmers have lost patience. 15 years after the program started, they are yet to be taught how to properly harvest falcata.
Hanggang ngayon, wala pa yung ibinibigay ng guidelines about the harvesting.
The greening program is also meant to support poor indigenous communities who have spent generations protecting forests.
We're in Gupitan, Davao del Norte, about 3 hours away from Loreto. Here, the land falls within ancestral domain. That means it's controlled by indigenous people. Any government projects here need to be coordinated with tribal leaders.
We've come to meet Eddie Subla, a leader of the Lumad people.
Natasha.
Mayroong hapon, ma'am. Salamat. Abot na yun ka, ma'am.
True, of course. Halayo pero maganda.
Eddie says the Lumad people own all of Gupitan, a district that covers 65,000 hectares. They signed up for the greening program because they wanted to earn extra money to send their kids to school and to protect the forest.
Nako yun mi og paghigugma sa among ancestral domain. O kay diha naman yun amo ang mga ninuno nga nangamatay. Amo yun ang protektahan pod amo ang ancestral domain.
According to Eddie, there are a lot of broken promises.
Ang problema yun namo dire ang usayod niya nakita namo nga ang kakulangon pa yun namo labi na sa amo ang mga similya o sa amo ang pagtabang sa nasyonal amo ang gipangandoy nga tungod kay dako pa kaayo ang amo ang yutang kabilin nya bakante nga wala pay mga durableng tanom.
The program's focus is now on maintaining and protecting established plantations. But Eddie and other leaders say they are most shocked that the government is suddenly claiming that parts of their land are not ancestral and instead are government property.
Naa sila gipakita sa amo ang usa ka mapa nga ingon nila nga excess. So mao na nga among natingalami nga nanong itawag man nila nga excess nga nasulod man na sa amo ang ancestral domain.
Bago po ba ng NGP, kinlaim po ba nila yung excess na yun or walang ganong usapan?
Wala pa, ma'am. Pag abot ta sa NGP, dito na nag-claim na sila nga naay excess nga ilahang kwaon.
The dispute is still unresolved and weighs heavily on the community.
Hindi namin alam, ma'am, kung bakit nag-claim sila o niya anong intensyon nila sa aming lupa na bakit ilahang kwaon. Wala na ang ilahang gipromise sa amo ang protektahan tungod kay sila mismo ang magkuha na pod sa amo ang yuta.
For its part, the government is hailing the program a success. But that assessment is based on how many seedlings were given to farmers, not if they survived. Meanwhile, few communities produce their own seedlings. Marlo Mendoza is the architect of the National Greening Program. And for the first year, he was in charge. He believed it was both necessary and achievable.
So we have big dreams, and I think we can make a big difference. No? If this succeeds, this is what the country needs.
The government picked greening sites with the help of local offices and the availability of community stewards. Degraded forests were meant to be prioritized, but that didn't always happen.
Probably we should have emphasized, looking back. We'll go more for quality. We'll go more for the process, how it was done. rather than insisting on the targets.
We just came from Palawan.
Okay.
And we saw illegal logging in NGP sites.
Well, that's not qualified. There's already an existing natural forest. Because in the NGP, priority sites are open, degraded, understocked areas.
And in this land that's very rich rainforest, there's now illegal logging.
Any cutting, you have to get a permit. But if you legitimize cutting by implementing a government program, I think that has to be investigated. That should not be allowed. No?
Lavinia, the environmental lawyer, says he isn't surprised that the program has failed. The blame, he says, lies with the government for not switching strategies early on when they knew it wasn't working.
The bureaucrats know what the problem is. They will just say, well, it's like that every year. We get the money, the same amount of money, we distribute the money. You know, we don't really count how many trees go to maturity. You know, it's really inertia. The inability of society, in this case, particularly the government and a government institution, to change its mind because something is not working.
We've repeatedly asked to speak with the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, but have not been granted an in-person interview.
We also sent detailed questions to national and provincial offices. We haven't received any answers. With the program ending in 2028, Mendoza says critical time has been lost in the fight to save the country's forests.
Do you think that the program was too ambitious?
Ambitious, probably in the sense that the organization itself was not fully capacitated. At the time, I underestimated probably also the bureaucracy.
Despite his disappointment, Mendoza believes it's not too late.
So I think now is the time to really be aggressive again because we're able to change mindsets. We've learned our lesson. I think more budget should be allocated also for research to support the greening program, allocating more time and funds for community preparation.
As for Eddie the farmer, he hopes the government will listen to the needs of farmers in the future.
Kung mayroong programa sa NGP pang iniulit, siguro po amin ang yung kuan ko yung kasi yung among tingin nga gusto namin okay, pero hindi gusto namin, hindi may dadawat.
Back in Palawan, Eduardo and his team hand in chainsaws they've seized in recent pursuits of illegal loggers. He wants the authorities to investigate those responsible for destroying the forest before more damage is done.
Sa talaan ng DNR, ang isang chainsaw kayang pumutol ng 20 na puno. So kung nakuha natin ng isa, ibig sabihin, kung ito ay hindi natin nahuli sa loob ng isang taon, 360 days times 20, ilang puno ang nasave natin?
Despite the risks, he vows to continue the fight against illegal logging.
Ang sarap ng pamayanan na maraming puno, maaliwalas. Na pag tumanda na ako, yung mga bata, hindi na lang nila ito makikita sa kwento o sa libro o sa kwentuhan.
Hindi po ba kayo natatakot?
Natatakot.
Bakit po patuloy lang?
Nakakatakot, siyempre. May pamilya. Pero kung hindi namin ito gagawin, sinong gagawa?